So we're standing on top of a light pole.
Yeah, it's pretty big. And it's tall. Are you afraid of heights?
A little bit, yeah.
Are you afraid to be up here?
No, this isn't too high.
I'm just afraid to get down. I don't mind heights. I don't mind being up. It's just coming down is my problem.
You remember that time we were on the roof?
Oh, I almost fell off.
So scary.
I almost fell off a roof.
We were on top of the
dugout.
The dugout.
The visitors' dugout in the baseball place.
Because we were recording a baseball game, and then the wind came and blew the camera over, and we almost died.
We almost died. I almost fell off a roof.
Anyways. So when you see a bunch of runners, you're kind of like, oh my gosh, where do I see them there when they're running a race? So you got to get up high.
And then you have to pick out your friend that's running and be like, oh, look, that's Mr. Vizzini running.
Yeah, or, hey, that's another student running.
Hey, that's Nat Mitchell running.
So a bunch of kids are running the Broad Street Run, as well as Mr. Vizzini.
As well.
And I believe a few other staff members. So let's go find out why they're all doing this. Because it's crazy.
It's crazy, like us. So go check it out.
Hi, I'm Tanisha Martinez, and I'm here with Mrs. Nielsen, John Maxey, and Mr. Vizzini, here to talk about a special little topic. So, could you guys just answer this one question real quick? What is the Broad Street Run?
Well, the Broad Street Run is the nation's biggest 10-miler. It's a 10-mile race through Philadelphia. It starts at Central and goes all the way down to the Naval Yard. So, you know, we're all three of us, you know, enjoy running to various degrees. So we decided that this year we would, you know, get together and do it.
Okay. And who's running in this besides the three of you?
Well, there.
About 40,000 people.
About 40,000 people. Yeah.
I guess other people in the school. You mean us three are a few other student council members.
Members of ROTC.
Members of ROTC. Can't think. I think there's only like the organizations that got together for the run.
Miss Yacarino, or sorry, it's okay. Former Miss Yacarino, now Miss Nielsen. Have you anyone to add?
I have a couple of friends that are doing it, and a couple of my relatives are doing it as well.
Okay. And why is it that you're all running in this? I'm sure you have different reasons.
I'm doing it for the benefit of, you know, the training and to just become a better athlete and runner, physical fitness, just to, I don't know, just to really, you know, I don't know. I'm doing it because it's an accomplishment for me, because I've never run that much in my life, and I feel as if that would be something that I've always wanted to do, just to say that I've run the Broad Street. I've always wanted to do it. I actually signed up for it several years ago and dropped out because I was too scared. And then I decided this was going to be the year to do it.
Well, you're pretty fit. I think you'll be able to do it. And you, John?
Well, this is my third year doing the race. So, like, it's just become part of my training, basically. I run cross country in the fall, but then I have to keep running throughout the winter and spring. And so I try to throw some races in there, so it's not just, you know, training. I don't have anything to work for. But the first year I did Broad Street, I really loved it. It's a really great race. It's really fun. So I decided to do it again, and now I keep doing it. Also this year, I'm sure Mr. Vizzini can talk more about it. But we sort of have a special cause to come together this year. We're running the race in honor of Donnie Zahn. And so that sort of made all of us come together and want to run it more, you know, as a team.
Mr. Vizzini, would you like to add to that?
Well, sure. You know, we talked about with some members of ROTC, and a lot of them had done Raiders, and Donnie was involved in Raiders as well. And these guys get together, and their physical fitness is amazing. So it's really neat, and it's inspirational to see those kids like getting out there in the morning and running. So we thought that would be something nice for us to do, and I'll be able to come together. And in addition to what Mrs. Nielsen said about the physical training, I mean, it's something where even though there are 40,000 other people, as Mr. Maxey said, the 40,000 people there all seem to be united for this like common cause, and it's really cool to see everybody running at different paces, really pushing themselves. And you know, right around Temple University at the 2-mile mark, the bands start going. You run around City Hall. And when I did it last year, you know, it was not only a beautiful day and a great event, but you just get so pumped up. You're not even really thinking about the 10 miles. I mean, I'm not really built like the stereotypical runner. I'm not John here. So so for me, the pounding on the knees, all of that stuff starts to just go away, and you just get caught up in the adrenaline. It's really cool. It's a great event, and the adrenaline it's neat.
And Yeah, like Mrs. Nielsen said, it's, you do it so you can say you did it. Like, it's a personal accomplishment, just because it's not you're just going there and running the race. You're doing all the training for it. You have to, get in the right mental state for it. And when you finally complete it and cross that finish line, like, there's no better feeling than that. And it's just, you're really proud of yourself. And that's why a lot of people do it.
The great feeling to actually know that you've been able to do it. And Mr. Vizzini or Ms. Nielsen even, would you guys like to touch up on why you're running for Donnie, as some people may not know the reason for it?
I mean, like Mr. Vizzini said, I mean, he was a great athlete, had a lot of involvement in Raiders, and it'll just push us harder. It's 10 miles is a long way, and we can fight along the way here and put everything else out of our mind. We can remember that we're doing it for somebody. So it's an important accomplishment.
I agree, and I think that that's a good way with the running and being able to bring everybody together and really like unite it for that common cause as we run. To remember Donnie, think about him, and think about something like this is an activity that he enjoyed doing as well. And I know that the guys in ROTC feel the same way. The sergeants are running it, and a lot of members of Raiders as like a fitting tribute, a personal, like pushing ourselves personally, and also doing something united for Donnie.
So how are you guys preparing for it? Being obviously John, you are already kind of like fit for it, and Mr. Vizzini, Mrs. Nielsen, you guys might have like maybe a little extra work to do. I don't know, just saying. I mean, he's already he's already a runner, so he probably already has pretty good start.
I think we all prepare a little differently, but I know all of us right now are in complete training mode, preparing for the race day because it's less than a week away. So now we're sort of slowing down our training. But I know for the past few weeks, I've been going really hard with my training, just picking it up, doing more speed work than a little less distance. You really want to work on my paces and figure out, how I'm going to do the first 5, how I'm going to do the second 5. So that's how I've been going about my training. I know Ms. Yacarino, she has a different reason for running the race, and she's not running it for time. I know, so her training's been a little different.
And Miss Nielsen, sorry, it's really weird.
I know. So, like John said, this is an accomplishment for me if I can at least run the 10 miles. So I've been doing more distance workouts. It sounds kind of silly, but I had to talk to a lot of people to help encourage me with my workouts. So I talked to John because he's in cross country. I've talked to Mrs. McDermott, who's the coach. I've talked to my cousin who runs marathons, and her husband he does Ironman. He did Ironman in Hawaii, and not that I would ever do that, but the thing is they know what to do. So I followed a lot of the advice that they gave me. So I did a lot of hill workouts. I did running in the farm park, just being a very hilly place. Valley Forge. I do a lot of the Perkiomen Trail, and just even as silly as just packing my bag to work out after work, because it can be very challenging, and your mind starts telling you things after the 3rd and 4th week that don't run today when you need to run. So that's a big thing. So it's just constant running, and now, like John said, this is the week of the race. It's a little bit less. So every other day, just making sure to stay warm and to keep the blood flowing so that we can perform well on Sunday.
And keep healthy. Don't forget that. You guys are sick. I don't know how you're going to run.
One of the things, and I don't like running on the treadmill. I mean, the treadmill is just horrible. So one of the things that I forced myself to do is on rainy days, when the rainy days would interfere with it was raining too much, I would force myself to do 6 to 8 miles on the treadmill, and it was more like emotional training rather than physical training, because I knew that banging out 6 to 8 miles on the treadmill and just the unrelenting, like the hamster on the wheel kind of thing with the treadmill, I knew that by doing that, when I'm running outside surrounded by all those people, I'd be fine. Be ready to go.
Great. And how did you guys come together to do this? I know, as you guys have said, the JRTC are doing, students of the JRTC are doing it, sergeants are doing it. And I know, John, as you said, you've already done it before, and Miss Yacarino, you've tried to do it and then kind of dropped out.
So Yacarino beat me in the class of 2016. Yeah, she beat me. And it was very difficult to take. Like she just comes out of nowhere, like turning it on in the last half mile of the 5K that she organized as a class sponsor along with Mr. Hartman, and that was tough to take. So I was like, it's time for revenge.
Christine and I run at the same. We were around the same pace.
Yeah.
We're usually around the same pace, but I think that's what any race is about. You have to like pace yourself because I'm like slow in the beginning, but then in the end, that's when you have to like turn it on and keep going. So, but we're usually around the same pace. So I don't know if that revenge thing is accurate.
I don't know. I'm feeling a challenge around here.
We'll see.
Just tension in between here.
We always end up in the same spot. So yeah. Because we ran the field hockey 5K a couple of years ago too. So yeah, so we're always around the same pace. So I know you never know. Out of all the 40,000 of people, I might be crossing the finish line with Mr. Vizzini. Who knows? Or he might be sprinting past me. Either way, yeah.
So what if she does beat you this year in the 10 mile?
That's fine. I mean, that's fine. That's challenge accepted, as they say. Challenge accepted.
All right. Well, it sounds like you guys are really doing this for a great cause, not just for the fact of the whole feel good aspect of it, but also in remembrance of a great student, Donnie Zan. And is there anything else you guys would like to add before we go?
Oh, I don't think so.
It's going to be a beautiful day on Sunday, and it looks like it's going to be a great day for a run.
Yes, great event. We're very excited.
All right. Well, good luck to you all. Sure, I kind of want to see this challenge, but good luck on that. I'm going to end up having to come back to you guys to see who won.
Okay. Follow-up story.
Follow-up story. All right, so I'm Tanisha Martinez with Mrs. Nielsen, Mr. Frazzini, and John Maxey for the Broad Street Run. Back to the Eagle's Eye. Tanisha Martinez here with Sergeant Sheffa to talk more about the Broad Street Run. So what is the Broad Street Run?
Okay, the Broad Street Run is an annual 10-mile race. I believe it's the most popular 10-mile race in the country now, with something like 40,000 participants. And it's held on the first Sunday in May every year. And that's what it is.
Cool. And where does the run go from?
Broad Street. That's why they call it the Broad Street Run. Now, it starts at Broad Nolany, or more accurately, Broad and Fisher, right near the Broad Nolany Transportation Center, and it ends at the Navy Yard at the southern tip of Broad Street.
Nice. And why are you running in this, for the event?
Well, Sergeant Shear and Mr. Fazzini and myself and a handful of students, I think around 8 to 10, are running in memory of Donnie Zahn, our student who took his life before this school year started. So we thought that would be a nice tribute to him, by us all participating in that event.
And so, being it's in memory of him, I would take that it's more of a little bit more personal to get through everything.
Yes, actually we had quite a few of our students volunteer to run it, but it's a lottery, so only 5 were able to get selected for it, and of the JRTC students. And yes, I think it means a lot to them because of the memory of Donnie, and that they want to put forth some effort. And Donnie was he was very much into physical fitness activities as well, so I think people really relate that to his memory.
Well, hopefully he will be remembered very well during the run. So, on a slightly later topic, it's 10 miles, right? So
That's correct.
How do you train? How are you going to train for this, or how have you and your students been training for such an extraneous time?
Well, I think most of my students have been just their method of training is run 2 miles and hope the last 8 don't hurt too badly. So we'll see how that goes for them. But I know that's not going to work for me at my age. What I've been doing since the fall, really, actually since the summer, is run about 3 times a week during the school year. Sometimes it's hard to keep that going, but a couple of shorter ones, like 3 to 4 miles during the week, and then on the weekend I generally go for a run somewhere between 6 and 10 miles. Just take my time. I'm not in any hurry, but so I feel as though I'm ready for it, and I'm going to have a good time.
Okay. And your students, JRTC, they're in pretty good shape, right? So
Yeah, they are. They're young, so they'll recover
okay.
fast enough. But I think they're going to be a little sore on Monday. We'll see.
Is there like any little competition that you guys have going on between you, or is it just all for fun?
Well, I've been, kind of teasing them all week about that. That some of them, they'll probably finish it faster than I do, but on Monday they're going to be in agony, and I'm not because I'm prepared for it. So.
All right. Well, I was just asking because I know Mrs. Nielsen and Fazzini.
Mr. Fazzini,
yeah,
yes,
they're
right.
all doing. They kind of have like a little competition between them. So I was just wondering if you guys had like a little.
Yeah, not really. I never. My motto with that is slow and steady. So we'll see if that how that works out for me. I don't know. I don't know what other people's times are going to be, but I know I'll be fine, and I'm just looking forward to it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having this little talk with us.
You're quite welcome.
And good luck to you and everyone on the Broad Street Run and in remembrance of Donnie's aunt.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And that was Sergeant Sheffa with the rest of the news for Broad Street Run. Now on to the rest of Eagle's Eye.